I only know through Pauline about Assassin's Creed.
Oh my
God
God,
damn, that was so close
went
to me.
terrible.
And if I didn't know it was halfway up your nose, I'd pick it up and put it in the trash.
That was the worst. That was the worst I've ever done at anything.
I wish it was
in my
on
whole
camera
life.
it was like it was like right here, just off camera.
It looked like
it might have been in the camera.
It looked like the snot rag hit a force field and bounced off. That was incredible. What were you saying about?
Have you guys played God of War Ragnarok? No, but Pauline, my wife, she's playing Assassin's Creed Odyssey, and it looks really cool. That's all I was gonna say before I got assaulted with a snot rag.
I'm probably halfway through God of War Ragnarok to answer your question. I'm playing it very slowly. Please, for the love of fuck, do not spoil anything. I play this game slower than most, and we're gonna talk about that on this podcast.
Cool.
Which is happening right now. It's the gaming podcast. Sorry, I'm having.
Did y'all know you were watching a podcast?
I'm having a nose issue.
Listening to a podcast? I mean, you can look at us. You don't have to look at us. It's not a requirement.
I just want to warn everyone. This one I'm not going to throw. I'm going to pocket this one. I just want to warn everyone that my computer's running great. My internet has been fine, but it is raining.
Yes.
So,
yes, the classic thunder and lightning Achilles heel, which is a storm, ironically.
Yeah, weather. Yeah. Odyssey's great. I even bought the DLC. That takes place in Atlantis. Oh, that's cool.
Shit.
I did not know that. The chat box could be in a better place. There we go. We'll do it there. Yeah, I like that better. Okay.
Cool.
Video game podcast. It's here. It's what's happening. The Game Awards happened. We're going to talk about that. But first, we're going to talk about our weeks. I go first, right? Okay. So, slowly playing through God of War Ragnarok. It's going fine. I like it a lot. I'm like I said, I'm probably halfway through it. So I'm definitely going to wait until I 100% it to be like, this one's better than this one, you know? But so far it's a really, really solid, follow-up to God of War 2018.
Cool.
We will talk about that more when we talk about the Game Awards.
Yeah, didn't that series get a reboot?
Yeah, this is it. It was a game about Kratos is from Greek mythology.
Yeah, no, I know.
And then
but there was a game from like PS2 era,
yeah,
right?
those are the ones. Yeah. The PS God of War 2, God of War 3, and God of War Ascension were from PS2 to PS3, I think, or Ascension might have been on 4. And then there was like a break, and they were like, we're doing something different. And then they come out with God of War, which is the 2018 one, the one that takes place in Norse mythology, the one where he has a son, with, and all that. And then this is the direct sequel to that. So there's been like, considering spin-offs, there's been like 9 or maybe 10 Greek games, and then a break, and then so far 2 Norse games. And those ones there's been no spin-offs. They've just been direct timeline, like. And it's not even like, it's not a story reboot either. All the Greek stuff happened. This happens
cool.
after that.
I like that best.
Yeah. No, me too. Because he's old and he's got a son, but he also has all the baggage of everything he did in the Greek pantheon. It's so fascinating, dude. A lot of the conversations in Ragnarok end with Mimir being like, "Oh, Kratos, I heard a story about from when your pantheon. Do you want to tell us?" And then Kratos does his best job storytelling. And it's like, this is cool. I didn't expect this.
Yeah.
Like, all the Norse stuff I get, but now I'm getting insight on not just Greek mythology, but Kratos' part in it. Because Kratos is fake. He's made up.
Right.
He's not, like, you can't find ancient books in real life about Kratos. So it's cool. It's really cool so far, and I'm liking it a lot. And I think I'm going to wait to talk more about it until I'm fully finished with it. I wanted to talk about Disney Dreamlight Valley. I have an update.
Okay.
An update about an update. So they updated the game. And, okay, so if you remember me talking to you about this a while ago, the game is not out yet. It's in early access. And in that game, all the villagers have friendship levels. If you get to friendship level 10, you do a mission, and then you get a special item. So Minnie Mouse is very hard to unlock. She's one of the last people you unlock. And her level 10 item is a very cute Minnie Mouse dress that I was very excited to get. But because the game is in early access, as it turns out, the only 2 level 10 friendship missions that weren't programmed into the game were Wally and Minnie.
Right. I remember this.
Yes.
Yeah.
So they had a huge update. It added Stitch, it added Buzz and Woody, it added a complete Toy Story map, but it also added Minnie and Wally's level 10 friendship missions.
Cool.
So I look on the mission page, and in order to finish Wally's, you need to unlock Buzz. In order to finish Minnie's, you need to unlock Woody. So they like made it part of the update. You do Buzz first. I got Buzz. He's in the town. He's loving it. Go back to Toy Story Land. Woody's there. He's like, do this mission for me. Woody needed me to pick up 15 things off the ground. And in that video game, when you pick something up off the ground or when you like uncover something, it has this little animation of it like flying up and falling back down, and then you can pick it up. And I picked up 14 out of 15 things, and then the 15th one fell behind some game geometry that I was not allowed to pick up. So, and you're like small because you're a toy, you're in Bonnie's room. So there's just like a giant block, a letter block that the thing is just like in the middle of. So I was still barred from getting the fucking Minnie Mouse dress. Obviously barred from getting Woody as well, but I don't care about him. I want the fucking Minnie Mouse dress. I can't believe this is happening again. So today, the day we're recording this, December 16th, they released a patch that fixed that. Woody is now in my village, and I do, in fact, have the Minnie dress.
Nice.
The story had a happy ending.
We do have a... Sorry, Hypno. We've got a few messages from Hypno. He's talking about when he bought the season pass, it included AC3, which is crazy, that they just threw in a whole game.
Which he didn't really like.
Yeah, wasn't a big fan of.
I also wasn't a big fan of. I don't like Assassin's Creed 3. I don't think it's a good video game.
Interesting. Oh, yeah, you told, yeah.
That's the one that takes place during the Revolutionary War.
Right.
It sucks,
See, I liked
dude.
how it looked. I've seen
Me too.
people play it. It looked cool.
It looked so good. And it came out on my birthday that year. It looked like a really good follow-up to the 3 Assassin's Creed 2 games we got. And it was not it, man. I do not like that game.
You did love Ragnarok. Hypno's gonna lurk, which is totally cool. Thanks for hanging out, man.
Yes.
We appreciate you being here. And if you go live, let us know. Throw it in chat, and we'll raid you at the end of our stream.
Yes.
Assuming there's, people to raid with.
bring, and also assuming you're still alive. We will definitely do that.
If you're still alive.
If you're still with us. If your soul hasn't. Okay. So I played another game I wanted to talk about briefly, very briefly, I promise. Because I have Game Pass, and it's so easy to go on Game Pass and be like, what's hot today? I'll download this, play it for a sec. So it's just one of those games that I just kept seeing announced new trailers at events, E3 and all that. And I never really paid attention to it. Just looked kind of generic. It's called Metal Hellsinger. It's called Metal Hellsinger is what it's called. And maybe I'm dumb. Like I said, I didn't really pay attention to the trailers. It kind of looked like a Doom ripoff. It was just like a first-person shooter type game. Except I did not know that it is, in fact, a rhythm game. And every action you do has to be on the beat.
Okay.
I played it once. I got through like a level or two. I'm not even really sure if I'm going to keep playing at this point. I haven't deleted it yet. I almost deleted it last night, and then I was like, no, I might go back to that. So if I do end up really liking it, maybe I'll talk about it again. But I was just like so like, and like, fuck me, right? It's called Metal Hellsinger. It's got the word singer in it, and metal is a genre of music. So but yeah, it's all metal music. It's a first-person shooter rhythm game, which threw me off a bit. I was like, this is interesting. Not what I expect. It's definitely not what I expected. Yeah, it surprised me just because of what it ended up being. So I'm excited to.
Did you hear that?
I did hear that. Yeah. The wind is trying to knock my entire 120-year-old house down. No, I'm excited to find out more about that, and maybe more. The more I find out is, yeah, it's bad. I don't like it, but it's an interesting game, and I didn't know what I was getting myself into. So if more arises about that, I will let you know. It's got a narrator who's like always there talking, and it's Troy Baker, which is pretty cool. He's kind of a high-profile voice actor. Wouldn't expect him to do this, which I can only assume is an indie game.
Right.
Just be like the only voice you hear in a weird rhythm indie game. It's fun. It's cool. I like it. I like the last couple years have been like the indie games specifically have been like what hasn't been done yet. Like Vampire Survivor is a perfect example of like that game looks like a bunch of games I've played before, but it plays nothing like any game ever. It's just like a one of a kind. No one's ever done this. Like there's been rhythm games. There's been games about metal music. There's been games that look like Doom.
Yeah.
But it's never been like this. You know, that's what I really appreciate about indie games over the last couple of years. How they're just like, it's not just like, we made a beat 'em up, even though some of them are that, and, you know, that's fine too. But a lot of them are this, where it's like indie has become synonymous with like, just this like crazy high concept, like, that's cool. I don't know why it took an indie developer to do that, but it's cool. I'm glad it exists now.
I'm finding that's the case with tabletop RPGs too. After past weekend we had 2 weekends ago, which I will talk about because it is gaming. I will talk about it a bit, but I also do have things to talk about with video games. Yeah. But that's not to say...
We already talked about PAX Unplugged, right?
Did we?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Then you know what? Watch that podcast and watch the vlog video about PAX Unplugged.
Yeah.
Yeah. But keep going.
I'm good.
Oh, okay.
I also started playing Rainbow Billy and the Curse of the Leviathan, but I'm literally like 20 minutes into it. It seems fun. It's got to pick up, so I think probably next time I'll talk about that.
Cool.
But yeah. You now you say things.
Now I say things. So as of recently, thanks to school, I don't have much updates with video games. But in comparison to the last time we did this podcast, I'm sure I have things to say. Random question before I get into it.
For me?
Yeah.
Oh, about my room. Yeah. What's up?
There's these little Pokemon figures that you got in an advent calendar last year.
And one's
just
missing.
For context for everybody. I wasn't going to mention that.
It's
I'm not
Vulpix.
that observant.
It's down there.
Oh, no. Oh, I see where it would have gone.
Yeah.
To. Did you buy any at the store?
No, I have them all.
Oh, there's not. So if somebody got a different advent calendar, there's no like.
No, it was exact. Remember, I ripped the cover off because they spoiled the whole calendar on the inside flap.
Right.
I actually talked to the fun. I'm glad you brought that up. I actually talked to the guy about it. I was like, "This is cool. These are from these advent calendars. Oh, $3. That's how much I would charge for them. That's pretty cool." And he was like, "Yeah, we got a bunch of the advent calendars, and you know, December 15th rolls around. We still have some. We were like, let's just open them and sell them separately." And I was like, yeah, that's what I would have done. That's a good idea. But no, I have every single one.
Fuck them for 2 Pikachus then in a
3.
silver Bulbasaur.
There's Pichu, obviously, and then there's Pikachu, and then there's Pikachu, and then there's Silver Pikachu.
Oh, I forgot Silver Pikachu. They did all the starters silver and regular. Which, if they did that and added Pikachu silver and had 1 Pikachu, I wouldn't have been upset. But there's 2 Pikachus.
There's also 2 Eevees.
A Pichu. Oh, there is 2 Eevees. Mm-hmm. Why? I get it. Eevee's cute. You don't need 2 of them.
Also, like, and I know I'm alone in thinking this, but like, 25 different toys. One of them is Gen 2, and it's Pichu.
Oh, I know. No, that bothers me as well.
It's like
No, I'm in where of a like mind when it comes to that.
Like, I know I'm an adult who bought toys, but like, you got to think that kids are buying advent calendars of this shit, right? And kids play the new Pokemon games that just came out. So why? I don't know. It's just it's an odd place to do like the 150 nostalgia pull. Anyways,
no, I'm with you. Yeah, sorry, huge divergence from what we were talking about.
No, you're good. We were
hello.
what happened?
If they're going to make a different colored one, just make it. Oh, that's a good point,
that would
too.
be cool, too. Yeah, no, they're literally just. I could go get them, but I'm not going to.
Thanks for hopping right into the conversation, Mason.
It's literally just the same pop, except silver. And we are, because they're not on screen, I will describe this. They're mini pops. They're literally.
Yeah, they're this big.
They're literally like. Where's my shirt? There we go. They're literally like this big. They're definitely. I would pay $3 for one of them if I didn't already have them. That being said, I think those mini Harley Quinns were like $8 or $9, but whatever. They can get bent. They price those too expensive, and I can say that as someone who has over 100 of them.
Is it really over 100?
Yeah, I think I did the counting. I've bought some since then. I think it's something like 170, and like 60 of them are Harleys, something like that.
Wow. Anyways.
Yeah. How did you get video game this Morrow?
So I didn't video game the current Morrow, but since the
last... that's fine, man. I don't know what I asked anyways.
Since the last time we spoke collectively, I did do a few things in Pokemon.
The Brilliant Diamond.
Yes.
And Shining Pearl.
Yes. And one of the dudes that I did things with in Pokemon is in chat right now.
Oh, cool.
So I did end up trading with Mason.
Ominous.
I don't know if I've mentioned that yet on stream, but we did trade.
I don't think so, yeah.
I got my Gengar. I got my
Alakazam and
Machamp.
It's so fun. It's still so funny to me that you, like, no scope. You were like, what a perfect team. Of all Pokemon you need to trade and no others.
But listen.
No, I'm not judging you at all. It's just so funny that when we were having the conversation, you were like, I just got some of my faves, and I was like, all your faves, you need to trade.
Yeah, but I traded them all.
Yeah.
And I
And then when Mason had your Pokemon, he Zoidberged away and never given back to you.
Well, it's funny. So he almost accidentally sent me a Mew.
Okay.
Which I was like, oh shit. And I think I actually got the Mew. And I was like, I mean, I'll give it back, like, immediately, because we were making trades to evolve anyways. And he was like, you can just have it.
Oh.
And I was like, oh, okay. Are you sure? So he gave me a Mew. Thank you, Mason.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Is that an event Mew, I'm sure?
I can only imagine. But, because it was
a
level 1. It was a level or 0.
Oh,
it might have even been a level 0.
That's not a thing.
Oh, so it was 1. It was 1. I knew it was as low as it could be, though.
Yeah.
But so then I made my perfect team of Gen 1 Pokemon, which is Primeape, Charizard, Gengar, Blastoise, Venusaur,
Machamp,
and Alakazam.
Oh! Machamp was beaten out by Primeape.
Machamp was beaten out by Primeape.
As soon as there's so many Pokemon. You said Primeape, and I was like, that's not a Gen 1 Pokemon, because I was thinking of Infernape.
Oh, no.
Because Infernape is one of the starters from the gen you're playing. I was like, that's not a Gen 1 Pokemon, Chris. But it is.
Yeah.
Primeape.
And then I beat the Elite Four with that team. And now I'm on what I could only imagine is the last go-around for the Elite Four. Which I need to beat because I finally unlocked the park where you can catch legendaries.
Okay.
And I've finally gotten into the groove of saving before I if I didn't, I'd be fucked immediately. But I still need to get I was going to say Volcanothem.
Oh, that's one of our viewers. Volcanion.
I fucked him up, and now I have to beat the Elite Four again before he shows up again. So I am waiting on that. So that's where I'm at.
So
Once school is over, I'll probably finish that up.
You said something that confused me. Are you required to beat the Elite Four multiple times in this video game?
Not required. But so far, every time I've beaten them and gone back, their lineup has either changed or gotten more powerful.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I like
in the dialogue changes.
Interesting.
At first, it was like, you're here to fight us. Fuck you.
Yeah.
Then I go back, and it's like, you seem familiar. And now I'm back, and they're, like, calling me by name.
Dude, Sun and Moon did that the coolest, because in Sun and Moon, they're like...
Hey, Toga.
Oh, hello. Oh, you're in my texts and in my chat. Nice.
And in our hearts.
And in our hearts. But also still on planet Earth. In our hearts makes it seem like he's dead.
Well, everybody knows he's not. He just messaged us.
True. Good point. So in Sun and Moon, the whole game, the professor's like, we don't have an Elite Four. I'm trying to make one. And then by the end of the game, he makes one. So you're the first person to run it. And then when you beat it, you're the first champion. So then what the game does is every time you replay the Elite Four, instead of someone being in the champion room, you're there and you get challenged by someone else.
Oh, that's cool. I like that.
And some of the people are people you've seen this game. Some of the people are people that you recognize if you've played other Pokemon games. Some of the people are people you've never seen ever before, even once, which is kind of cool. Yeah, that was really neat. And what you talking about the Elite Four changing reminded me of that.
Oh, that's awesome. But that's been primarily what's going on in video games for me.
Cool. So let's get into the news. There's one, basically one big thing that happened, and it's called the Game Awards.
Mm-hmm.
The Game Awards happened.
Someone got arrested.
Someone did get arrested. I think they're out now, but yeah, we'll get to that. Let's talk about the actual awards first, because I think that's a good place to start. So, Marvel Snap won Best Mobile Game,
cool,
which is cool. Vampire Survivor unfortunately did not win debut indie. Stray won debut indie. I've never played Stray, but I think Vampire Survivor should have won, hands down. Man Engage, the woman who played Marissa Marcel in Mortality, in Immortality, did not win Best Performance, but the person who did win Best Performance was Christopher Judge, voice and mocap for Kratos from God of War Ragnarok.
Okay.
So it was kind of like there was two right answers this time. I would have loved to see Man Engage win, but I'm also glad that Christopher Judge won. And then God of War Ragnarok has an interesting journey that they went on.
Well, yeah, you said it practically swept for the most part.
So
right?
Here's what happened. In 2018, two powerhouse games came out. God of War and Red Dead Redemption 2.
Mm-hmm.
Red Dead Redemption completely swept. It won every award it was nominated for, except for Game of the Year.
Yeah.
Game of the Year went to God of War. This time around, the tables have turned. God of War Ragnarok completely sweeps, the biggest sweep I've ever seen. It won literally everything. It won Best Performance. It won accessibility. Like, it won literally everything. And then Elden Ring won Game of the Year, which, once again, I'm sitting here like, that's all cool and everything. I think the right game won Game of the Year, because holy fuck, Elden Ring is still just like, every time I think about it, I'm like, man, you mean the best game ever? Yeah, that's the one that should have won. So that was pretty cool. And then during the Elden Ring speech, some weird shit happened, which I will get into now. 3 developers from Software approach the stage. Another person from like different part of the audience comes down with them. It's clearly a kid. He doesn't do anything. He's very respectful. While they're giving their speech, he's clapping along with other people. They say like, thank you, we're leaving the stage now, camera zooms out, kid starts talking, camera like zooms back in because they're confused about what's happening.
Right.
And this kid says, I'd like to thank my Hasidic Rabbi Bill Clinton for this award. And that's all he said. And then you could see he was very quickly escorted off. He was arrested that night. He's since been released. The end. I don't really have that happened, and it was weird, and it wasn't even like it. What was he? He was just trying to meme, I guess.
Yeah, he was just trolling.
Because it wasn't like there was no subtext. Like he wasn't like, and also fuck the Game Awards or whatever. You know,
right.
He was just being a weirdo. I don't know. It was so weird to me.
What I can only imagine is an inside joke between him and 6 of his friends, but what a weird thing. I bet he was dared to do something like that, you know?
Yeah, you gotta. I really want to put myself in the shoes of the Elden Ring developers who barely speak English and were, as far as they can tell, probably what they assume happened is they were escorted on stage by some random white kid.
Right.
I don't know. It was odd.
No,
the Elden Ring acceptance speech didn't not have an air of like something weird is happening. And then once the kid takes the mic, you're like, oh, that kid was like a plant or some shit. But you've got to be right. It's got to be like, I bet you won't do this.
Yeah,
you got a seat ticket at the Game Awards. Do this, bro.
Yeah, no, exactly. I don't understand what else it could be. It was a weird thing he said. Can't tell if it's anti-Semitic.
I can't either, honestly.
Like probably it is, but like, a weird thing he said.
I don't know about that. But now let us get into game.
I bet you security next year's beefed. You might not see it,
right?
But I guarantee you, it's beefed next year.
Well, next year is the 10th Game Awards ever. So they're going to like pull out all the stops and make it like a fucking super cool show that you're definitely not going to want to miss, you know? So
they nerfed it this year.
They didn't.
And then they'll beef it next year.
They didn't. It didn't.
No, I was just kidding.
Okay, yeah. But it's just like
I was saying game words.
Right, yes. No, you were. Good job. Thank you.
It's more than that kid did.
Yeah, he didn't say anything about games at all. Okay, so lots of announcements. Not too many, but you know, a fair share. It being a 3-hour event. So first we're gonna go over release dates.
Mm-hmm.
Star Wars Jedi Survivor, the sequel to Jedi Fallen Order, is coming out. They showed a big long gameplay trailer. It looks really cool.
I actually haven't watched the trailer yet. But
the actor who plays Cal Kestis was there with a lightsaber, and he actually like did a like convincing lightsaber like thing. It was cool. Because he like doesn't have to. I guess he probably mocapped, but it was just cool. He just like nailed this like thing. He was like, "Hey, now I'm talking." It was cool. That game is going to be coming out March of 2023.
Wow.
Last of Us Part 1 on PC. Who cares? March. Who cares? Horizon Forbidden West Burning Shores DLC, April 2023. I'm going to skip that one for a second.
Okay.
Diablo 4, Street Fighter 6, and Final Fantasy 16 all coming out June 2023.
Do you want to play Diablo 3 on the channel?
Diablo 3? We could. I also have Diablo 2, the remaster. I haven't played a single frame of it, but I bought it when it came out. Kind of some baggage with that game, but you know.
I forget.
Blizzard, all the Blizzard controversy.
Oh, yeah.
So Diablo 4, actually, you bring up a good point. That's probably going to be the first one under the Microsoft helm. I wouldn't be surprised if Diablo 4 was Xbox only. Returning back to the world of Dungeons and Dragons, Baldur's Gate 3 comes out August 2023.
Cool.
And then Returnal, PS5 launch title, is going to be on PC early 2023. So no news happened at all. So then they showed off another trailer for Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, which is the new action fighter that they're doing. I believe it's like not set in the Arkham universe, but it's like Arkham Controls, essentially. You're going to play as Deadshot, Harley Quinn, Captain Boomerang, and King Shark. Christ, they have stupid names. But their mission is to kill the Justice League because something's wrong with them. They haven't shown off Batman or Wonder Woman yet. So this trailer was all about Batman. And I was watching, I was like, this is cool, but why are they doing this? And then he started talking.
Right.
And I was like, oh, this is... And then the trailer ended with, thank you, Kevin. Jeff gave like a beautiful memorial speech for Kevin Conroy, which was pretty cool. Because Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, a little bit of a weirder title, but it is going to be one of his last performances, if not his last performance as Batman. So that's really cool that they like took time out of the Game Awards to dedicate like an entire trailer to him.
Yeah.
I thought that was really cool.
Yeah.
Because the Game Awards, it don't really get an in memoriam section like the Oscars does, you know?
Right.
It's not really. So it was cool. And that's going to be coming out May of 2023. So a lot to look forward to.
Yeah.
And now on to some new stuff. I want to give a quick shout out to mobiddictum.biz for giving me exactly what I wanted when everyone else failed to. I just wanted a list. I just wanted a list of all the games that were announced.
Hypno just sent like the same email. I think just letting us know he's still here.
Oh, hey, yeah. I think he probably heard the words Horizon Forbidden West.
Oh.
I just want to let everyone know we are dropping frames, but like it's gonna happen. There's a big storm. There's like the half hour before the Game Awards starts, and they have announcements as well. And there was 2 that are not on this list that I wanted to talk about briefly. Vampire Survivors is on mobile right now, totally for free, the whole game.
Cool.
So if you don't have an Xbox or a Steam account, you could just play it on your phone, which is really cool because that game's so good. And then Dead Cells. I don't know if I've ever talked about Dead Cells, probably once or twice to you, maybe not even on stream, but it's once again, it's one of those indie games that I was talking about that like combines a bunch of things, and it's kind of like the first game to do this. So that game is a Dark Souls-like Metroidvania roguelite. So it's brutally hard like Dark Souls, and when you die, you lose all your stuff, and you have to go get it. But it's a roguelite, so when you die, you don't just lose and go back to a save point. You die and go back to the beginning of the entire game. But it's also inspired by Castlevania. And it's all they've always really like worn that on their sleeve. They're getting a Castlevania DLC.
Oh, cool.
Where you can play as characters and fight Dracula. It looks really cool, and it's gonna just fit so flawlessly into the world of Dead Cells. And I'm very excited for that. So the big announcements.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna go over this entire list. So there's a game called After Us. It honestly, if I'm gonna be honest, look kind of boring. If I had to guess genre, I'd say like exploration puzzle. If you've ever played Journey or Bound or any games like that, they look like that.
Okay.
There's a new game called Immortals of Avium, which I didn't even remember seeing the trailer for, so I looked up a little thing, and this is what the internet has to say. Immortals of Avium is a groundbreaking new single-player, first-person magic shooter that delivers a visceral cinematic campaign experience we hope players will never forget.
I won't forget.
I did forget about it. A couple years ago, there was a game called Remnant from the Ashes, which sounds like the sequel to a thing, but it's not. It was the first game. It's like a steampunk, kill the zombies, get a bunch of points game. It looks really fun. My brother really likes it. It's getting a sequel, and the sequel is just called Remnant 2.
Not from the Ashes.
Not from the Ashes, no, just Remnant 2. Crime Boss Rockay City. It seems like a GTA-style game, but it has a ton of famous people in it. Michael Madsen, Michael Rooker, John Turturro. Just a bunch of people who, like, would be in a crime movie, except it's a video game.
Cool.
There's a new Hellboy game. So there have been Hellboy games before. They've all been movie tie-in games.
Yeah.
That's not what this one is, of course, because there's no Hellboy movie coming out. It's called Hellboy Web of Wyrd, W-Y-R-D. It looks really cool. It looks like a beat 'em up, but not like Turtles in Time, sort of like, I don't know, like the camera. It was like a third person type game. Like it looked like a slow, like combat heavy beat 'em up. It looked cool.
Cool. Like the Warriors?
No. More like if you've seen footage of the new God of War, kind of that sort of camera, but it's like all grounded and punching and stuff. It looked neat.
Cool.
But it also looked like a Hellboy comic. Like it had that very distinct, recognizable like Hellboy art style, which was cool.
We could live in a universe where another Hellboy movie was coming out.
Yeah, except the David Harbour-led 2019 Hellboy movie was
not good,
a
right?
pile of shit.
Did you watch it?
Oh yeah, I saw the whole thing. It was not good. I
didn't watch it.
I was like, these people are over exaggerating. It can't be that bad. It's pretty terrible. It was pretty terrible. And what sucked is that in the end credit scene, they teased Abe Sapien, which is the coolest part of Hellboy, in my opinion. And we're not going to get what it sucked. It was so bad. And I hope that David Harbour didn't like. I'm glad he did that and Black Widow at the same time, because like if it was just Hellboy, he might be like
in a rough way. Yeah.
In a rough way after Stranger Things ends. Anyways, so Bayonetta 3 just came out, and they announced a new game called Bayonetta Origins. Soresa and the Lost Demon. So this is not a big spoiler, but Bayonetta's real name is Soresa.
Okay.
So this game is going to take place in her past. She's going to be a little girl, and it looked like a painting. Like as she walked, it looked like a painting was being drawn. But there was also combat. It looked kind of like Twitch combat-y. I don't know. It looked interesting. They announced Death Stranding 2. Which is looks like it's going to star the Léa Seydoux character instead of, what's that dude from The Walking Dead and Boondock Saints with the hair? What's that fucker's name?
Oh, shit. I know who you're talking about.
Him. He was the main character of Death Stranding 2. Norman Reedus. Was the main character of Death Stranding 2. Wasn't he at Comic-Con?
Not this year, but recently?
I don't think so.
Oh.
It looks like it's going to follow Léa Seydoux's character instead. I haven't played Death Stranding.
Yes, we got. Thank you.
Oh, thank you,
Mason.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I really do. So yeah, Death Stranding 2. They were like, here's what's next from Kojima Productions. And I was like, ooh, what's it going to be? It was just Death Stranding 2. So that's cool. Good for that. Like I said, I've never played it, so I didn't know that was even an option.
Yeah.
Judas is not much is known about this game, but it's the new game from Ken Levine and his team, the creators of BioShock.
Oh, I thought it was the guy from that band.
What? Remind me?
No, Adam Levine.
Oh, from Maroon 5.
Yes, Maroon 5. I would have said Maroon 5. I could not remember. I was hoping you'd make the connection.
I didn't. I'm sorry.
No, the joke fell. It's not your fault.
No, we're in another Mighty Number 9 situation where Ken Levine's not allowed to make a new BioShock, but he's basically making a new BioShock. It seems cool.
Gotcha.
Hades 2, probably the biggest surprise of the night, besides the one I'm about to say. Hades 2, Hades 1, so good. Everyone who played it can tell you how fucking good it was. It looks like you're going to play the daughter of the main character from the first one.
Okay.
Who was already Hades' son. So, but it just looks like everything you want from a sequel. It looks like the same game except with more stuff, which I'm excited about. And then, in a big surprise, they announced a new Armored Core game. So, From Software, the people who make Dark Souls, used to make Armored Core.
Mm-hmm.
It was sort of like it was their monkey ball. Like they abandoned their old son so they could focus on Dark Souls.
Mm-hmm.
They're making a new Armored Core. And Armored Core is not like Dark Souls. It's not like a Dark Souls style game. It's like a mech shooter. And what's interesting is that they're making a new one. They're not making like Armored Core. It's called Armored Core 6 Fires of Rubicon. So they're making a new Armored Core. And that's the next thing From Software's doing, which is exciting, if not a little like, I've never played Armored Core. I don't think I've ever even seen footage of an Armored Core game.
Right.
I just know it exists. I'm sure you're on the same page as me.
A little less, but yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, it's I am excited that they didn't completely abandon it. Like they were like, and they also didn't like give up the rights. Like that'll happen sometimes too, where like Naughty Dog was like, no, we want to make Uncharted and Last of Us. Someone else can take Crash Bandicoot.
Right.
So it's cool that they were like, no, Elden Ring is going to keep us financially stable for a while. Instead
you
of
work on the passion project.
Yeah, exactly. Instead of making Dark Souls 4 or Dark Souls whatever the next thing is, they're going to do this.
Yeah, no,
and
that's
it's cool. It's respectable, especially from a very huge, now that they won Game of the Year, game studio. And that is everything that happened at the Game Awards.
We might get to do a bit for the first time in God knows how long.
Bro, let's bid it up, dude.
All right, for those of you who don't know what the bit on this podcast is, because we haven't done one in like fucking 6 months, We are going to make a video game right here, right now. All the software, everything in the next 15 minutes.
Yep, you got it.
No, we're gonna make a video game concept. But we're not gonna know what the help me out here.
Genre.
What the genre is, or what the
IP.
What the IP
will
is.
Be.
And the IP could be anything. The IP could be a piece of paper. It could be whatever. It could be anything.
Yeah, I have a list. This is the updated list. Some of the things we might have to go again, but like only a couple.
Okay.
Because this is the new list, so I'll let you know if that happens. But someone in chat.
First person.
We do have 6 people right now, which is pretty cool. First person in chat. Just throw out a genre. It's like you're at an improv show. Just throw out a genre of video game. It could be literally anything. You don't have to like, oh well, which ones have you done yet?
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. Just
Doesn't matter.
Throw one out. And then in the meantime,
we got one.
Horror.
Okay,
Hell
horror
yeah.
it is.
Horror.
We've got horror.
Horror gets a little fucky because like, what if it's like totally doesn't fit? But we're gonna make it fit because I think we made a Looney Tunes horror game once. But yeah, so
we've got a master list of the stuff that we've made.
Oh, I got it right in front of me, baby. So Chris, why don't you hit me with a number 1 to 45?
42.
42, you say?
I do.
Ooh, this could be really interesting. Okay, so it's not an IP.
Okay.
But as you said, I tried to make a very varied list of things. The example we always give is a roll of toilet paper could be on the list.
Yeah.
But number 42 was dreaming.
Ooh. Oh, that's good. There's a lot you can do there.
When I think of dreams and video games, I immediately
Kirby's
think
Dream Land
of Psychonauts, which is a game where you play a superhero who invades people's dreams. Not a horror game.
Sure.
But it is where my mind goes first. Because when I think about a game about dreaming, I think my mind fills in the blank with like, oh, we'll just do that SpongeBob episode, but horror, you know? But is there another avenue? Like, is this a game where you hop from dream to dream? Or maybe this is a game where you play a kid who his dreams come to life and what is hunting you in the horror game?
I like the other way around. Hear me out.
Okay.
Hear me out.
No, go for it.
You were inspiring me as you were talking. The game starts fairly normal. You don't
as every
realize
good horror game does.
Yeah. You don't realize it, though, but you are already in a dream.
Ooh, okay.
It seems like it's normal, but as the sun starts to go down, things in the dream things in-game get a little weird. You can't quite tell what's going on, right? And I think the checkpoints for this game, maybe it's a bit long, you know, almost like a Resident Evil type of thing. Like you stay in a section of this game for a while, but the checkpoint is like going on to the next stage.
Yes, with modern but also classic Resident Evil games, there was the thing of like, you're in house, you're gonna 100% this part of house before moving on to garden.
Right.
And once
exactly.
you 100% garden, you move on to guest house, and then maybe after guest house you get a thing and you get to do rest of house, and that's where end of game is.
And I think that's kind of where we're at with this game. I think the checkpoint, things get bizarre, creepy.
I think as soon as shit pops off, like as soon as you're like, oh no, I'm in a dream and it's a horror game, they get really crazy. Because dreaming can go literally, it's like the multiverse. It's like you could do whatever the fuck.
Oh yeah, and I think the way you go from checkpoint to checkpoint, I don't know if I want this to be a portal or you get knocked unconscious or something like that, but it's just an abrupt end to now you're in a different place.
Yeah.
And I think the story of the game, I think like there's a prefix that the players are not aware of, that maybe this player, there's a storyline that's maybe this player's in a coma.
Okay.
And every time you go from one dream to the next, you get little... You don't know what it is, but in the overview of the game, it's little glimpses of what's happening outside of the dream. So, like, maybe somebody's calling for you or somebody. Maybe you don't even know what your name is. You see a flashing light or something, and
But you, as the player, write that off as, like, oh, some weird random dream shit is happening.
Yeah. And I think at the end, you wake up and you find out someone was trying to murder you.
Oh. While you were unconscious?
No, that's how you became unconscious.
Oh, okay.
You wake up and you have to finish the game, and now it's a very Resident Evil style. You're trying to survive. I think you have to try and leave. This person's in the hospital. Maybe even somebody gives you that information, and then like they get like a jump scare. They get stabbed.
I see. Okay, so is the game you're describing sort of, because I like to hash out mechanics after you.
Yeah, absolutely.
So is the game you're describing sort of like a existential walking simulator, and then because a lot of horror games are like that nowadays, where it's like there's maybe light puzzle solving, but basically it's just a first-person game where you walk from the beginning to the end and you get scared the whole time. And I think what you're describing, and I kind of love it, is you're trapped in dreamland, and we won't call it that, obviously, for obvious reasons. But you're trapped in dreamland, and the whole time it's basically just a walking simulator where you're like, what the fuck is going on? This world is fucked. And then when you wake up, you have a good, solid 5 to 25 minutes of someone's classic horror game, like Mr. X style, like someone's trying to get me. Mm-hmm. And if he gets me, I'm going to get a hard game over, back to the beginning of this sequence.
Yeah.
I like it.
Cool.
I like it a lot. Yeah, I like it a lot. Because the alternative is, and this is where I thought you were going at first, and this is what I kind of wanted to avoid. The alternative is you are a person who has the ability to go into people's dreams, and you go into someone's dream, you do a little horror segment, and then you come out and it's no longer scary for a couple of minutes, and you're like, oh, that was cool, on to the next person. What's our overall goal?
This is going to be fucked from start to finish.
I like that more. Because now we're starting to sound like, it's starting to sound like some PT, like what was real, what's not real. And then you get to the end of the game and you're like, this is kind of reminding me of Evil Within a little bit, where you get to the end of the game and you're like, what was real, what was fake? Fucking none of it was real, apparently. And now I'm awake, and now this is real.
It might even be cool if you fuck with them at the end of that.
Yes,
I was
going to say, at the very end, maybe even like an after the credits thing, it could be like just a small little Inception style moment where it's like, wait, was that even fucking real?
Yeah.
I like that. I like that a lot. What is the title
I know.
of our video game?
This segment pisses me off the most.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Of any no, in a good way. Of any segment that we make, because I always walk away loving the game, wishing someone would make it.
I know. Yeah.
And I still want to.
That was the problem with Cool Games Inc. Cool Games Inc. would sometimes just get like a fucking heater that I was like, now I'm sad that this game is not real.
Yeah. No. Well. And I want to bring a little bit of it to life. I think we've talked about this off channel. I want to talk about it on channel. Get some perspectives here. But
I know what you're gonna say.
Yeah, I want to utilize our Patreon a bit, and how I want to utilize our Patreon is I want somebody to make posters for these fucking games.
Cover arts.
Yeah.
Yeah. That would be cool.
What the fuck is this word?
Somnambulance.
Ooh, tell us what it is. Tell us what you're thinking. I think this is a name.
Yeah. That's like the
like somber.
Like no. Like like sleep. Like somna. Like that's a root word. You know. What the fuck is her name? Boob lady.
Pauline. It's my wife.
No,
Pauline.
boob teacher from My Hero
Pauline?
Academia.
Oh.
Who cuts her?
I'm just kidding.
Cuts her skin
no, I know
open, and she makes people fall asleep.
She's always in a sexy outfit for some reason.
Right.
Oh, Midnight something?
Yeah, Captain Midnight or some shit.
It's like a scientific name.
Yes, thank you.
Sleepwalking.
Yeah, her quirk is called like somnambulism or some shit like that. It's a sleep word.
I like the title. I like it.
I don't know if I like ambulance
being
in it because that kind of gives away the. But I like the Hold on.
Is somnambulance the word, or is Pauline creating a word for us? Somnolence.
No, her thing was a portmanteau.
Is a play on it. I see. Okay.
So somnolence literally means excessive sleepiness, strong desire for sleep, and feeling of drowsiness. Now, I think a bad name for this game would just be the word somnolence. And I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly.
If you are, I'm thinking of something like like make it silence. Make the second half of it silence.
What about because lens is there, you're right. What about is this too wordy? Somnosilence? SOMNOSILENCE.
I like it.
Somnosilence.
Yeah. Somnosilence. I'm down. Like it.
Let's do it. And I'm going to just because it's been a while. Hold on.
But I want to ask people in chat if we may. I don't know who's a big fan of this bit. Maybe nobody, which is fine.
I'm a big fan.
I love this bit. Would you buy a poster of one of these games? Because I'm worried that's the only way we'd ever be able to bring them into the real world, and I think they deserve to be in the real world.
What did you say? 42?
Yeah.
Oh, that's not how I was doing this. Oh well. Hold on.
Sorry, some silence. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I think we landed in a good place, but that's exactly what I was thinking too.
So just to go over this real quick, because it's been a while, we have, just to name a few, we have...
Oh, you're just listing off some IPs that could have been?
Yeah, we have Catastrophe.
Oh, no.
Which is a first-person cat lateral damage shooter.
Oh, these are ones that we've made. Oh, I see. Yes. No, let's do it.
There is nothing left to lose, which was a Foo Fighters dating sim.
Oh yeah, that we made the day that Taylor Hawkins died.
Yes.
Unintentionally.
Count of Clerics, MMORPG where everyone plays a cleric. We made my personal favorite, Murder at the Ford Theater, which is an Abraham Lincoln style Jackbox game where he might not be the one who dies. Who knows? There's, of course, the best title we've ever come up for a game, Tooth Wars, which was a dentist appointment sandbox game.
We should have told Dr. Shaw about that. He'd hang a poster of Tooth Wars in his office.
This one I don't remember. 50 Days a Postman. It's a USPS simulator. Don't remember talking about that at all.
Oh, I do. That was a super fun game. That was like take Papers, Please, but you're finding shit out through the mail.
Oh, yes, I remember this now. And then we have this one I believe I came up with wholesale. Actually, right here it says Thunder's original idea called Sham Ball, which was bowling but with ping pong paddles.
Oh yeah. 50 Days of Postman did sound fun, Mason says.
Yeah, dude. I love me a good Papers, Please. Paper Please is out on Android. Also, I found it. It's called Looney Tunes Presents The Horror Tunes, except Tunes is spelled with 2 O's the first time and with a UNES the second time.
Good for us.
Trials of the Worthy, a Norse mythology platformer. That one, if you don't remember it, it's because me and Emery made that one without you.
That really sounds like one I would have been.
Oh, I know, right? Yeah. All right, so that is our gaming podcast.
Did you put down whatever the fuck we named this one?
I did.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I saw. I'll just double check, but I'm pretty sure I did. Yeah, game number 24, Somnosilence, Horror Dream.
I'm gonna talk to John. I'm gonna talk to John about that.
Get out of my motherfucking way! Sam Jackson horror game.
We've done a lot of horror. I think maybe horror we
next time we won't do horror.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We
maybe
take
the
a
next
break.
couple we won't do horror. Horror games are fun.
They are super
though.
fun.
Especially when you get a weird one like that.
My favorite is the one we made a video essay about.
Well, yeah, that's the thing, right? You get an idea so good, you're either like, I'm never going to mention this to anyone and make it someday, or I'll make a video essay about it. And at least, at the very least, entertain people. Well, just so, like, yes, but also, like, someone could steal our idea now because it's out there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Anyways, that's our gaming podcast. The stream is not over, so don't go anywhere, but we're going to do a quick outro for the gaming podcast. Thank you for watching. Join us again in 2 weeks if you're not a regular to this channel. The every other Monday is this, and the every other Monday is a movie podcast. Yes. We just did Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. We're going to do Bullet Train and Pinocchio, right? Yes, we're going to do Bullet Train and Pinocchio, the new one, the Netflix one, the Guillermo del Toro one. And then what did you?
That's my fault. Sorry.
Oh, it's wrapped up. Yeah. No, you're good. Maybe don't do that again though. Just because it's he's playing with fire now. He won't. He's not going to stop until it falls on the Xbox and breaks both things. No, I don't think either.
That'd be my luck.
But thank you for listening. Until next time, Ivan Thunder.
I'm waiting.
And we'll see you later. Thank you for watching. Please be sure to like and subscribe.
Our channel has daily uploads from podcast video essays, Let's Plays to skits.
Be sure to watch on Twitch. We stream all our video game and podcast content live at 5 EST every Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday.
Our intro is by Brad Kendrick and music by Froggy and the Friendship. Link to all that in the description below.
Thanks again, and we'll see you next time.